And we're continuing our discussion on obesity on Public Affairs on Peach. We've talked about what causes it and some fad diets out there, even surgeries people are going to try and lose this weight. But what about the simple things you can do by just watching what you eat and getting your exercise? Elise Sarter, outpatient dietitian at Northside Hospital, is here to join us to talk about that. As we know, this is Easter Sunday. You guys are preparing that nice ham with the honey glaze and candied yams and collard greens, all that stuff. Should that be on our diet, Elise?
Every once in a while, some reasonable portion sizes of some foods that are part of your heritage, or even if they're not the best choices nutritionally to have every day.
Macaroni and cheese.
Can be a reasonable part of a lifestyle, but we want to work more on what we're doing 80, 90% of the time rather than just on holidays.
So we can have a splurge day for a holiday, but start really thinking about what to do every day. So what would you recommend? What does a normal meal look like?
Well, I would say try and make at least half your plate on about an 8-inch plate, not a hubcap. About half your plate, fruits and vegetables, more vegetables than fruit, particularly non-starchy vegetables. And then think about the rest of that plate, splitting it between a healthy protein source. A reasonable portion size of that is about going to be a quarter of an 8-inch plate. And then a healthy, high-fiber carbohydrate source. Not so much the refined grains.
Okay, let's break it down to what those are. What's the vegetable that we're saying non-starchy? What kinds of vegetables?
Leafy greens would be a good choice. Broccoli, carrots, mushrooms, onions, peppers. Really most of your vegetables except for peas, corn, and potatoes, which are more starchy.
Okay, and then for the protein source, beef, chicken.
Some really healthy protein sources to be choosing more of the time are beans, nuts and seeds. Your poultry can be a good choice too. Fatty fish for really great omega-3 fats are also really good choices to have regularly.
Oh, okay. All right. And no bread. Push away the bread.
There can be some benefit to 100% whole grain breads even that sometimes have some legumes in them, like Ezekiel-style breads or sprouted grain breads. But it's really easy to overdo our portion sizes on those breads. So keep your portion size reasonable.
All right, those are definitely some good points. And soft drinks, put them down?
I would not recommend regularly having soft drinks or your other sweetened drinks. Too much sweet tea or lemonade can have just as much sugar as a soft drink.
And people these days like to watch TV and eat. That tends to make you eat really quickly. So what would you recommend as far as eating?
Definitely mindless eating and eating too quickly and not chewing enough are all linked with overweight and obesity. So we want to combat those. Don't eat in front of the TV. Try and make your meal at least 20 to 30 minutes and try to chew every bite 20 times before you swallow.
Oh my gosh, that's my mother and my son. Wow, really? 20 times?
About 20 times is a great amount to be aiming for to chew your food before you swallow.
Is it breaking it down? Is it just making you tired from eating too much more? What's the purpose there?
It slows you down, and it also will help break it down. That's the first step of digestion. Sometimes we can have GI issues simply because we're not chewing our food.
Yeah. What are good snacks, Elise?
Some great snacks would be some legumes, also some fresh food, some vegetables, some fruits, and then some also nuts and seeds. Think roasted chickpeas or hummus and celery, or peanut butter and celery can be a great option too.
And everybody can't afford to get to the health club, so a good exercise for folks to do is what?
Whatever you're going to stick with is what you want to start with first.
A walk?
Start with a walk. Just get up, walk
Around
around, start there. We do eventually want to be up to about 30 minutes, 5 days a week of more cardiovascular exercise for most individuals, and about twice a week including some resistance exercise in there. But start where you are and just get active.
Oh, and that makes a difference. You can walk at work. Just go around the parking lot.
Yeah, you can walk at work, around the parking lot, park farther away, take the stairs. Every little bit counts.
Okay, and walk around. Instead of yelling to your coworker across the room, walk over to them.
Definitely walk over.
So do you like these kinds of trackers that look at what you're doing, how far your steps? What should you be getting step-wise?
People are unique. We can't just give a step goal that is 100% of the time for everyone. And the trackers, they work for some to be motivational, but they can also be quite discouraging to others.
Okay.
So if it's actually making you feel like you're inadequate and that you're not able to meet your goals and discouraging you from trying, then I would not recommend a tracker.
Oh, Elise Sarter, thank you so much. Registered dietitian from Northside Hospital. Valuable information. Stay with us. We're going to focus on children and obesity as we wrap up this edition of Public Affairs on Peach.